So, with this Tahm Kench game, we can start with runes and masteries. In terms of masteries, it's pretty standard, like um, 12 cunning, um, and then 18 in resolve. Taking the shield bonus, and regeneration bonus in resolve, and taking the mana regen in meditation in the cunning tree. So I prefer Bond of Stone in most cases, because in most cases you're not against a melee. Bond of Stone is just the typical tank support. You get reduced damage, and you absorb a little as well. It scales better than Grasp of Undying, but I do prefer Grasp of Undying into melee matchups because I find I'm able to take more advantage of the extra damage in trades, just because I'm more likely to be able to be autoing them, because they're likely to be autoing me. So I like going Grasp of Undying in melee matchups. In terms of runes, I run 2 HP regen quints. I like it because I'm kind of has a central theme around like regening, kind of like regeneration, kind of like Trundle does, where his passive returns health, and Trundle's passive gives him health back. So I also prefer it just for the early lane phase because I'm likely to get poked out, especially into a Zyra lane where she has a lot more lane pressure, since most of her abilities can go through over minions. So I like going it for the extra sustaining lane because I want to get through laning phase overall, and the health regener helps with that. And for something that scales, I go 10% in attack speed, reds. I like it because you're able to clear a ward with 2 hits before it despawns if your AD carry hits the third shot. It helps you get more passive stacks off as well, which is what I prefer when I'm playing people like Braum, Trundle, including Tahm Kench. When your auto attacks mean a lot, I think the attack speed's just worth it over like the 7 armor or 5 or 6 armor you get otherwise. I just think it scales better. Helps clear wards as well, in the general sense of just throughout the game. So she used her ward here, which means she can't ward here. So I'll look to get more pressure off by walking into this. So I got her ward. So now they have no wards for River. Not that it's a big deal. Zac isn't known for his early pressure. He really should auto attack that. It gives money, so there's no point in not doing it. We'll look to be aggressive here though. Just want to trade flashes. I'm more confident in my ability to dodge a gank than she is, because I want to make her play safe, and she can't look for as aggressive harass if her flash is down, because she can be punished more for overextending. So I wouldn't really recommend that. I don't know. It's just kind of like a confidence play. Like, I just don't want her to have her summoner up. But feel free to play around with it. Just trade flash for flash is always a decent strategy. So the wave's pushing into us, so I can't contest this brush. So I'll just use my ward for it, because I see Kha'Zix is top, so I'm not really worried about a dive or a side gank. And we just let the wave crash into us. overall, we shouldn't be winning this lane. It's pretty hard to win lane with Tahm Kench when you're against a ranged Coke champion. But let me check the CS. Yeah, it's pretty even once we clear these out. Not bad. I maxed Q second. I just accidentally put a point in E, but I doubt I'll be punished for it. Let's see if we can kill Zyra again. It's all good. We made her commit a pink ward for it, so we basically got a third of a kill off that. 75 gold she spends and 30 gold I get. Since she's so small victories. They can't shove out the lane, so I'm not in any danger of losing XP. I usually don't go early sidestones. I really like my upgraded Targons into Targons. But in this case, I wanna make sure we have vision on the Drakes because Kha'Zix at level 6 can solo it really easily. So I'll let Lucian get all this solo farm and try to get fast level 6 spike. Because my level 6 isn't as good as Lucian's. So I'd much rather him have higher XP than me. So I need to get deep in the pit because he can jump over. So I know Zyra was around here because that's the only way her plant spawns. So I know that this is likely warded, or that she responded to the pressure walking mid. So Lucian's 6, which is good, because now he can lift to just all in them. Nice. Good hook. That's exactly what I was looking for. I know Vayne warded this because she walked right towards the brush and stopped stopped right in front of it, so I know that it's likely warded. Not bad. We were able to bring 4 bot. We were able to get lane pressure. Not the greatest though. Obviously I'd rather not die, but we were able to burn their sums for it, so. Or some sums. Early Cloud Drakes sounds pretty good to me. Probably need to get mid-wave though. It's a lot of farm. That's good. I like this word because it shows when your bot lane's roaming. to like answer mid pressure, so that's why I like that one. But I want to make sure there's no pink in here to clear it. I'm not in threat of being collapsed on, so I'm just gonna clear her ward and move on. But you don't want to defend that pink ward if you saw Vayne walking up. But on my minimap, she's just staying in lane CSing, so I might as well clear her ward. Look to get an exhaust on her. Not overcommit. We're looking for an aggressive play right now, so I'm gonna use my pot to see what's up. I know this is warded, so I'm gonna clear that next. Ooh, Hecarim's having a rough time. We'll get first tower gold. Leave it to give the whole central gold dilution. I want to look to help another lane though. I think Swifties are pretty solid on Kench. He's always wanting to move around, and since his auto attack animation makes him like stop so profoundly, he really needs to like catch up. So that extra like 15 movement speed, you know, gives him that catch up ability. Overall though, I think Merc Treads or Tabai are most likely better in most circumstances. I guess this would be your aggressive version of buys, because they have a decent amount of CC to where Merc Treads are reasonable, and they have enough auto attack damage, auto attack champions to where Ninja Tabai are just as good. So we got a free TP. It's not bad. Having 3 people commit for support kills, a pretty solid trade. Because in this circumstance, now every time I say that, you should try not to die, obviously. But in this circumstance, they committed a TP and 3 people mid, and all they got was 300 gold, most likely. Split among 3 members, so now it would have been bad if they started a siege, but if you don't get punished for those kind of plays, then you're fine taking those trades. I'm gonna look at the pink for mid control. So I know Zyro's around here, so it's a pretty good chance that she has stuff warded up. My main job here is just look to devour people that Kha'Zix tries to assassinate. So that was weird. Or in terms of like my team, I tried to devour Lucian, but he kept running away from me. But he tanked like an extra 2 tower shots where I could reach up to him. Just because thanks mobility, or thanks to my boot selection, I was able to catch up to him eventually. And then I tried to finish off the Karma, but Lucian popped out early, and then took auto to take the kill, so he got tower aggro, and it was like just a bit uncoordinated, that's for sure. which is pretty common with people with Kench. He requires a lot of synergy with your teammates, because it not just synergy, just like communication. Because like they need to know what you're doing with them in terms of like why are you eating them, when are you gonna spit them out, and you need to tell them like what you're doing, because you might not want them to be spit out, but they might want to be autoing. But they just have to trust you in terms of like how you want to proceed with your devour and what you're looking for in terms of like, are you trying to save people? Are you trying to like be aggressive in the fight? So definitely a lot of options. So I was playing that because I knew he wanted to use ult. So I wanted to make sure I had to make sure that I had the ability to block it. So I kept walking in front of him. And in that case, I was just waiting for him to cast his stun so then I could stun him instead of just stun him preemptively. I think either way is good though. Because stunning him preemptively, it's the only way you'd be punished is if he has flash, and then he could start channeling his Q. But reactive is obviously you have to trust your reaction time, which isn't that hard with Scion Q. It takes like a second to charge up the stun. We're getting Cloud Drakes, which isn't that great. In terms of trying to pressure elite. I see 2 mids, so I feel pretty safe going for that deep ward. Alright, so there's Kha'Zix. Look to waddle my way mid. So the strategy, the plan hasn't changed. In team fights, I'm looking to stop Kha'Zix, or look to devour whoever Kha'Zix is trying to go on. This is a bad fight. We know Kha'Zix was near, so it was instant. Like they just had the numbers advantage immediately. Nice, got the word. It had 1 second left, but it's good getting wards now because it gives XP. So like a bit more value than just 30 gold. Oh, Scion's here. Interesting. So I'm gonna play relatively far back. I could look for poke, but my poke means nothing. So I just don't want to get poked out. Because there's fog. I'm just gonna exhaust the closest target just because I don't have too much. I can't walk too aggressive forward. I'm saving my Devour for whoever Kha'Zix goes on. Like that. Just have to peel the tower off. Or protect the tower. You want to make sure your the person you're gonna devour is done with like what they're already doing. Like he was looking to E forward Q auto, and that was pretty much it. So once he was done with that, I was free to devour him, just so he doesn't like mess up his just, like predetermined like strategy. Like people go into things usually with like the 3 steps that they're gonna do into a fight. So in that case, he was like, so steps like, alright, I'm gonna E forward, auto attack, Q, auto attack, and then dodge skill shots. and I was able to, so when he was in his dodge skill shots phase, then I was free to devour him because it's just assisting him in that sense. But Tahm Kench isn't too flashy. You're not gonna do too many sick plays. You might save people every now and again, but Janna can do the same thing. So Tahm Kench is the frontline version of Janna. So I'm not going to be too aggressive. My engage is pretty unreliable. It's a lot of flashes. So that was pretty hard. Sion's somewhere around here. I'm not entirely sure where though. So I like maxing Devour second. Actually, I mean, well, it's not that I like it. It's just it's a good thing to do. But so usually, so there's two ways to max things, or two maxing paths. You can either put 3 points into Q, then maxing out Devour, or just max out Q, then Devour. The benefit you get out of putting points into, so you put 3 points into Q early because you really want the laning phase trade potential. If you just bring lesser like I bring lesser damage than Zyra in general, but if I brought actually, like, in terms of like, if I put 1 point in Q just for the Devour stack, then I would just do no damage, and so I'm relatively useless in terms of any 2v2 or skirmish. So you put 2 points, or you put 3 points just for the laning phase, because after that you're usually out of laning phase in terms of a support. So that's why you look for, then you max W because that's more of your team fighting ability. And it reduces the cooldown, so the more Devour is up, the more chances you can save someone. I'm actually going to finish this off. I think it's worth it in case they rotate down. But I want to make sure I'm looking at the fight to respond with my ult. I'm gonna actually pause my ult because I want to actually get here a bit sooner. Put a pink ward down to see Vayne ulting. Pull him out of the fight because he's waiting for his E cooldown to re-engage. Nice. So we can go mid into Baron. Let my team know that it's kind of what I'm looking for. You don't want to start tanking Baron until you have someone here to do damage, otherwise it's just not efficient at all. So I had Echo here, so I started tanking. Or I started it up. I see Kha'Zix's mid, so it doesn't look like he's looking to contest this, even though we were on the Scuttle grab. Looks like they're teleporting though. I'm gonna peel off, see if I can stop anything. Rip. But we can get out though. They all have dashes. So as a support, you should always look to be the one peeling off. In this case, I saw TP was coming in. So I was going to stop the home guard so if they get a 20 minutes. But in this case, Kha'Zix was in front of them, so I just tried to zone out their jungler. Not bad though. 3 deaths isn't good. Baron at 24 mins is good, especially on our split pusher. So um, overall, good trade because they weren't in any position to take advantage of us dying. If they were a bit more coordinated, they could have punished us. Like there was like no one mid, only Zyra's mid. When I'm actually gonna stay for a pink. I think it's actually worth it. In this case, I can't defend this tower since it's already dead, basically. So, I'll be looking to cut off anyone who's trying to get top lane. Doesn't look like anyone is though. So, our objectives right now is with Baron, we're gonna look for more towers. Baron helps you get objectives a lot easier because you get the empowered minions on your side. So I see Zac on Gromp, so that means I can be, although I'm by myself, I can walk forward because I have pretty close backup. I'm getting towards mid, even though I want to be top, because I want to see them rotating through the jungle. I'll commit a pink here, just for better vision control. Alright, so I'll get on this side. Echo has TP, so he's fine to split push. He doesn't have Baron buff, but it's not a big deal. So we got their counter engage off. I'm gonna tank this. I'm gonna flash that just because it's getting chain CC is pretty dangerous for Kench. I don't see anyone that I need to devour. Yeah. So in that case, there's no one that I needed to devour. So if I did devour someone, just because I felt like I needed to use the cooldown, then it could have like disrupted some of the damage output. So people play around the fact that people can get devoured, so it's better to look to just use it when you need to instead of use it just because you can. So in that case, if I got 3 stacks off on anybody, alright, this is actually pretty dangerous. I might look to take the dig for the team. Yeah. Sorry. That wasn't that good. I could have called my team off a lot sooner. I wasn't paying attention well enough though. But it's still good. 2 Nexus towers down. So that means they always have to have someone top lane. Usually you can let a few waves, or a wave or 2 build up top, and just let them run into your Nexus towers. But without the Nexus towers there, they actually just attack the Nexus and build up your minions really hard. So we actually get a lot of other lane pressure because if they ever reach the Nexus. In this case, they have a lot of AD just because their biggest threat is the Kha'Zix right now. Which also means I want pink wards, one for vision control and the other for middle of the fights. In case their 2 invisible characters are close enough to me where I can take advantage of it. But overall, bot side's your next objective. That's when the next Drake comes up. That's also when the last 2 inhibitors that we're looking for. It's unlikely that they had any wards over here because I saw Zyra clearing minions mid. I could collapse mid, but I actually do want to get deep wards for my split push turn. Don't kill the minions. Alright. Let's kill them. I'm trying to get to him. I could have played that better. Ah, so close. I had 2 seconds. I had about like 2 seconds go off on my ult before Lucian clicked on me. With better communication, I would have been like, alright, I'm ulting bot, and Lucian would have instantly grabbed it. And being there earlier might have been able to save Echo with my shields. But it was still a good attempt by us. I like it in terms of the idea behind it. So we got the bot or tower down. So we'll look to get this tower down next. But first we'll clean up. I'll tell my team. We'll clean up the neutral objectives. We actually did get it. That tower ended up going down, which is pretty funny. So I want a deep mid ward because I want to see where they rotate to. Like I want to see if they rotate up or rotate down. So in this case, I'll put that down, and then I'll put a pink ward here. But otherwise, I want to be here. I want to save some of my vision for Ocean Drake side for flank wards. Alright, my team's moving up, so I'm gonna react to that and not use as many wards towards Ocean Drake. Look for, make sure none of them are flanking. I want to try to block his ult. I'm gonna flash out. I can't kill her. So you saw how annoying I was. I was blocking I was zoning basically their entire team. That's basically what you want to do in Kench.